Hi, excuse me. I'm sorry. Would you mind? I'm just trying to get that book behind you. Yeah. Excuse my reach. That's the one. Thank you. Oh, oh. Oh, hello. Um, you don't remember me. We went to school together. Don't worry about it. I actually get a lot of that. Um, maybe this will help you. My hair was not blonde, nor was it smooth. My teeth were not straight. My eyes had glasses on them. My freckles were more pronounced, and well, my waist wasn't more pronounced. Uh, Dreamy. Yes. The jolly dream giant that, well, to you anyway. To other people, I was not so much. You didn't know, huh? You were always very nice about not hearing the insults. Oh my goodness, yes. Okay, well, you know that a lot of people called me Amazon, right? What with the height. Yeah, let's see. They didn't stop with Amazon. There was Amazon Slime, Rhyme with Prime, Amazon Grime, Amazon Wish I Was Blind. It really was not original. Thank goodness we didn't have Amazon Go back then yet. I can only imagine the things I would have come up with. Oh, yeah, I know. It is quite the transformation, isn't it? The braces came off senior year. I think you'd already left for college by then. Glasses that took up half my face, they got replaced with contacts as soon as I could. And then I finally figured out to do with that frizzy mess of hair. But, wow, look at you, though. You look very much the same. Only, taller, stronger, better. Look at you in the flesh. Hey, do you have a minute? Would you like to sit down for a bit, catch up? I promise I'm not some weirdo. I mean, I'm still a little bit weird, but you know my kind of weird. Not stalkery kind of weird, right? I'd like that. Yeah, come on. So, I haven't seen you since before you went away. The senior prom when I was a junior, and I got that pity date from my cousin because he didn't think anybody else would ask me the next year. Oh, yeah. Yeah, somebody did. Well, my gay bestie. He wasn't out yet, so. Oh, God, you remember that disaster of a senior prom when. What was his name? Tommy Schultz tried to spike the punch, and Principal Warner ended up dancing on the table. Oh, goodness. Really, I'm not surprised you didn't see me, actually. I was hiding in the corner with Liz Harmon. We were both too scared to actually dance. Although I did really want to ask you for at least one song. Oh, goodness. I said the quiet part out loud. Hey, do you remember your junior year of biology with Mr. Renfrew? And we were lab partners that one time. We had to dissect the frog. ridiculously afraid of it, even though it was dead. You were so very confident with that scalpel, and I couldn't even look at it before it was cut into. You ended up doing that whole dissection just by yourself while I took notes. And you didn't make me feel bad about it either, which was very nice. Most of the guys would have given me grief. You just said that my handwriting was nicer than yours, so that was objectively not true and very kind of you. Oh. Do you remember that field trip to the Science Museum? What was it? Yes. We got paired up for the scavenger hunt. You knew all those random facts about dinosaurs. I was very impressed. I still remember you explaining to me how they thought velociraptors actually had feathers. You were such a nerd about it in the best possible way. You know, you probably don't remember this, but you let me borrow your notes once when I was out sick for a week with mono. You dropped them off at my house with a get well card. Oh my god, my mother thought you were so sweet, kept asking if you were boyfriend material. Oh, so mortifying, right? But she was the same woman who put me in those giant purple glasses, so... What about you? What about you? I heard that you went to I heard that you went to state. Did you stick with biology? I always thought you'd end up doing something with like animals or science or. That's really amazing. That really it suits you. You were always very smart. Oh well. After high school, I went to community college for a year. I was still, figuring things out. Then I transferred to Westfield, studied communications. Not terribly exciting, I know, but it led me to where I am now. I can get to work in PR for a tech startup. It's actually pretty cool. I get to write press releases, manage social media campaigns, organize events, and learn a lot about stuff I never would have learned about otherwise. It suits me, surprisingly. It seems I can actually speak when I don't have to speak. I can find words when they're written out. The transformation. Oh, the glow up. I guess it was in college. It wasn't really. Well, I mean, it was physical, but it was. That's obviously what you're noticing, but it was also that I was so shy in high school and so insecure and always hiding behind those giant glasses. Never speaking up in class even when I knew the answer. College was freeing. Nobody knew me. Nobody had these preconceived notions about who I was supposed to be. I joined this women's leadership program sophomore year, and it kind of changed everything. They had this workshop about confidence. It's so cheesy, I know, but like taking up space in the world, right? I realized I'd spent my whole life trying to shrink, trying to be smaller, trying to disappear. I always felt like I was taking up too much space, even if it was vertical space. And in that seminar, something just clicked, I started speaking up in seminars, and I joined a debate team, if you can believe it. I think younger me would have had an absolute panic attack at the very thought of it, but the rest of it came gradually, like the physical stuff, the saved up for LASIK in my junior year, but gosh, that was the best money I've ever spent. And then I found a hairstylist who actually knew what to do with my type of hair. It turns out frizzy is not frizzy when you use the right products. Who knew? But you look just the same. I mean, like I said, more grown up, obviously, but you still have the same eyes, the same very kind eyes, and that same very easy smile that made everyone want to be around you. You were always so effortlessly easy to be around without being arrogant about it, you know? Not like some other kids. I thought you were very cool. What, seriously? Come on, everyone thought so. I mean, you were funny, and you were easy to talk to, and you were kind. You were actually nice to people. You were well liked. You were popular in the way that mean girls can never be, right? You were like this perfect high school specimen to me. Oh wow, I keep saying these really awkward things. Okay. I'm going to tell you something. And then we can pretend that I just didn't, if it makes things weird. But I had the biggest crush on you in school, like embarrassingly big. Like the kind where I'd take specific routes to classes just to pass you in the hallway. The kind where I would reread your comments on my papers way too many times when you had to grade mine. That's kind of pathetic. But that's who I was. I never would have told you back then. I was so awkward. I was so convinced that I wasn't invincible, but I was visible in all the wrong ways. The idea that the idea that I could talk to you and tell you that I liked you, it seemed very, very delusional. It seemed like it would have been delusional. You were always so kind to me, even when you didn't have to be, even when nobody would have noticed if you weren't. There was this one day. I bet you don't even remember. I doubt you would remember. It was 8th grade, middle of the year. Those girls, Amber Collins and her friends, the group, they had been particularly awful to me that week. I tried to contribute to a group discussion in social studies, and I stumbled on my words, because I always stumble on my words. And I said something I didn't mean to say. I reversed a word or something, and they spent days mocking the way I stammered and doing impressions of me in the hallway. And that Friday at lunch, no one would let me sit with them. This is so stupid. Every time I approached a table, people would put their bags on the empty seats, or they would just straight up tell me that there was no room. And this is so stupid. I ended up at the far end of an empty table at the end of the room, trying not to cry into my little bagged lunch. And you came over with your tray of cafeteria pizza, and you just sat down across from me like it was the most natural thing in the world, and asked me if I'd done my math homework yet, because You were stuck on problem 5, and you were so casual and so normal. Like I wasn't the school pariah at that moment, and this is so stupid to cry over. Because I'm an adult. And I haven't thought about it in a long time, and I swear I don't sit here thinking about it all the time. But that was the absolute lowest moment of my childhood. And so, you being there that moment was a lot. You were just so casually kind. And we just ate lunch together and talked about math homework and the new Star Wars movie that had just come out. Nothing profound. Nothing particularly interesting. But for those 20 minutes, you saved me from that worst moment that I'd ever had. And I wasn't a joke, I wasn't a target. I was just a normal kid having lunch with a classmate. And you probably walked away and never even thought about it again, but I thought about it all the time. It was such a small thing for you. And it was such a huge thing for me. God, listen to me. Oh, middle school girls can be so dramatically emotional about everything, right? We make mountains out of molehills. One nice interaction and suddenly it's this epic moment of salvation. Except, it wasn't nothing. Not to me. Yeah, I read this quote, right? You know, the one about how people may forget what you said or what you did, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. And that lunch, that one random, ordinary lunch, you made me feel accepted and worthy when everyone else was telling me that I wasn't. I think I fell a little in love with you that day. Not like this romantic comedy way in this person sees me when I feel invisible way. And that there is kindness in the world when I just started to doubt it kind of way. Anyway, that was my, there's my dramatic confession. Many years overdue. I just thought I'd tell you. I've thought about it sometimes. Thought about you sometimes and what would I say if I ever ran into you again. I didn't think I would cry. But I did wonder whether I'd have the courage to tell you that you made a difference. That sometimes we do things without ever understanding how big the ripples are that we've cast. And now here we are. And apparently I have developed a case of complete verbal incontinence. Coming from the person who used to be afraid to talk. Maybe I should learn a little bit of that again. Something to be said for moderation. So, If you would like to politely excuse yourself to get far away from the crazy woman right now, or if you would rather, I promise I'm done crying. If you would let me buy you another coffee, like no pressure, no expectations, just catching up like adults who maybe have more in common now than we did back then. Because despite having just gone on an emotional roller coaster of something that happened decades ago, I normally am far more confident than that child was. What do you say? Would you like to get a coffee? Oh. Yeah. I would like that. All right, this one's on me. Oh, don't forget the book. Yeah. Surprisingly enough, not self-help. Hey there, cupcakes. Thank you all so very much for sticking with me for yet another one of those teary stories. I haven't done one of those in a very long time. That one, I actually made myself cry while I was writing it. I've not had that experience. Like, certainly I was bullied, like a lot of people were. I was bullied in middle school, but I never had that, like, the whole lunchroom turning on me. Thank God. But also, while I was writing it, just the idea of some poor little girl going through that just made me cry for this fictional character that I was making up in my head. So, that's who I am. I'm very happy to say that I have many, many people at my table these days. So, like my newest member of my YouTube channel, Frogget12, and my newest patrons. Welcome, Red Ghost, Matt Farrell, and Aaron. And, of course, as always, thank you to all of those bakers and pound cakes. Pack 3424, Deanster, Mike D, Flaws, Kuro, Semblance of Life, Charles Tribble Wheaton, Loot Curator, Limonic Cultist, Bowman, Alton Goodbottle, Techo, Gunner's Mage, Mushan, the ex-Mafia Bartender, Tomas Rogers, William Gungrave, Barry Wilburn, Esteed, SLE Photo, Harper Evolution, Wolf9004, Malicilo, Bunny, Meryl, Mr. Rickles, Anand, Darth Mythos, Red Death 48, Always Able, Old Bean UK, Kalula Bear, The Swaggy Llama, Artlo, Pierce Stalish, and Christian Cleopatra. You all mean so very much to me, and thank you for all of your support. I hope you will all be as good to yourselves as you are to me, and I will speak to you soon.